On Monday, Father James Martin met with Pope Leo XIV in a private audience. Father Martin was in Rome leading a pilgrimage with his LGBTQ plus ministry outreach. There's no record of what was said in the meeting, but Father made a very positive statement on his X account. He also met with a nun who I think was known for heretical beliefs too. I'm not sure her name.
The Pope did, yeah.
So I'll read his message. Dear friends, this is from Father James Martin. I was honored and grateful to meet with the Holy Father Pontifex this morning in an audience at the Apostolic Palace and moved to hear the same message I heard from Pope Francis on LGBTQ Catholics, which is one of openness and welcome. I found Pope Leo to be serene, joyful, and encouraging. For me, it was a deeply consoling meeting. Please pray for the Holy Father. A lot of people upset about this. A lot of people saying Pope Leo is just a continuation of Pope Francis. Anyway, I just wanted to get our takes on that while I saw this go around and what's going on.
I mean, I don't know what is there a take of? I mean, the Pope meets with lots of people every week. Why does this? I mean, people like, and the thing is, the Pope doesn't necessarily comment on every meeting he ever has, and so the advantage is you can take advantage of that. In other words, you could say, well, I met with the Pope and we talked about this and that, and the Pope was very nice and courteous to me, and therefore he must obviously agree with me. Not necessarily. He's just maybe just a nice guy. I mean, the Pope will meet with Fidel Castro, for crying out loud. I mean, like, the Pope meets with everyone. Like, that's just who he does. He's the listener. He wants to get it from everyone. He wants to hear what everyone has to say. And he wants to have all perspectives because there's more than one person. So this idea that, obviously he endorses his agenda, there's no evidence to point to that.
Right. And the fact that Father James Martin is like couching, this is all self-reported by him.
Right.
And of course he's going to couch this as, he told me to continue what I was doing. And you're like, okay. But of course, the implication being that everything Father James Martin says coming out of outreach, again, we know what Father James Martin is about because he said it himself. And you can go watch my analysis of his interview with Ross Douthat from earlier this year, where Ross actually got him to say, yeah, we want to change church teaching on this. Pope Leo has already been very clear that marriage is between one man and one woman, that we are created male and female. So, until we hear otherwise, I'm going to stick with that. I thought it was also interesting that this week, the Pope announced that he's awarding Catholic speaker, researcher, amazing intellectual Mary Rice Hasson with the Cross Pro Ecclesia Award, which is one of the highest papal honors for the laity in the church. And for those of you who don't know who Mary Rice Hasson is, you are missing out.
She's amazing.
She is a force to be reckoned with for traditional church teaching, primarily on sexual ethics, but really on anything. She's written so widely. She's been an amazing advocate she works at Ethics and Public Policy Center, Person and Identity Project. She's been Franciscan University. She's been a visiting fellow there. And for her to receive this award, it's not an award I would have expected the Francis Pontificate to give to her. So to me, this is a countersign to the self-reporting of Father James Martin. I'm going to withhold. After Francis, I'm not naming any children after any living figures in the church. Even Cardinal Burke, I'm going to wait till he's at least beatified before I go naming babies after anyone who's alive. Anyone. But I'm not freaking out about Pope Leo because of this one post by Father James Martin yet. Remains.
I think it's a little premature, and I want to say the reaction of some people, in some sense, makes sense because he's been so openly heretical for so long, and seemingly promoted by previous pontificate. And I think that's really frustrating to people that are dealing with the fallout of the sexual revolution and the impacts that's had, maybe on family members or just on the family in general and society. And so I want to say, I don't want to completely dismiss people that are still sensitive about it. I think it makes a lot of sense. But I think everything you said is true. And Father James Martin has a long and storied history of self-promotion. I mean,
he's a total snake.
That's all he does. It's say things from his own vantage that you can't completely discount. But fortunately, Catholic Vote, we did an outreach expose on his quote ministry, which I think we're going to throw on the chat here, is fantastic. And then Erica's treatment in the deep is fantastic as well. So I would say, Josh, to Josh's point, he meets with a lot of people, and then people know what the photo op would be. Is I actually prefer a Pope meeting with just about everyone, especially one that has been super encouraging so far in many different aspects and seems to be very genuine, thoughtful, about his approaches. So I think I also saw something. He kept the same calendar as Pope Francis, so he still honored the appointments that were made before his death.
Sure, and I think the frustration that some of the traditionalists and the conservatives have is that Pope Francis, I believe, allowed and started some fires, and Leo is not immediately coming with a massive fire hose.
Yeah.
He's letting some of these fires just kind of peter out on their own, because maybe he wants to address something else first. Maybe he wants to deal. Maybe like he's spending his time in researching and focusing on another treatment of Rerum Novarum, because that he took the name Leo precisely as a tribute to Rerum Novarum, the previous Pope Leo XIII, because of all the massive artificial intelligence and all these other things that are, migration of people and, world economy. It's causing a lot of upheaval and plans to give more upheaval in the years to come. And so maybe that he wants to focus on that first. And I don't, when that first encyclical comes out, maybe that's why he's waiting on addressing sort of the James Martin stuff until after he gets that part done. I don't know. I'm just speculating. He may be a continuation of it. He may not be. But some of the response online is like almost reminds me of the early years of Francis, where it was like, I want to be the first one to show that I didn't trust this guy. Like, look, we should probably not jump the gun on all these things. Yes. Right. Be vigilant. Yes. Point out the record. I think Christine Nile had a great little post about all the ways in which Father James was off his rocker on church teachings. I think we should make sure to mention that. But that doesn't mean Pope Leo's endorsing it.